Okay, I'm back.
I said, go ahead, Pamela. You were like, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, Facebook. I know you guys can't see us, but I see you. Hey, Sean.
There we go.
Hey, Facebook, YouTube.
Hey, Sean. How you doing? All right. All right. And is that Sean, the one that sells the beautiful jewelry?
That is her.
John, I will be advertising you on our next show unless you put down in a comment the name of your jewelry company. And then I can go ahead and advertise if you would do that for me and how they can get in contact with you. So if you kind of put that kind of towards the end, then I can take care of that for you, okay? All right, forgive me because I was going to DM you, but just got busy. Pamela, go ahead and tell them about the show and then let's get started.
Yeah, so welcome everyone to Authentic Talk. We welcome you as our family. This is a podcast where we'll be talking about various topics from trauma to mental health, relationships, you name it. I am Pamela Shapiro, licensed clinical social worker, and
Cheryl Brown, licensed family therapist.
And we are two therapists from similar backgrounds. We have the same philosophies in life. We believe that you should do your best and show up to be your best. And we also believe that we like to come on this platform to offer a biblical perspective as well for believers, as well as we have perspectives for non-believers. And so we ask that you take notes. You can ask questions. If you shy and you don't want to ask questions during our live, please DM us so we can know what your thoughts are. We appreciate everyone that's been sending us messages and giving us shout outs. We definitely don't take that for granted. And so we just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Please share and invite other people to come on. We do thank our listeners that do the replay. Cheryl and I always are talking about the replayers and how the numbers are going up, and so we appreciate your support.
In the studio where the sound is, that sound is too loud. Down, it's like it's vibrating. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Just a little brief recap. Really, kind of, Pamela, it's kind of a brief recap, but I want you to chime in, okay?
I will.
But what we talked about last time is called Meet the Narcissist, and I thought that was just a beautiful title. That was very catchy. That was very catchy. Welcome, Shirley. Nice seeing you. But what we talked about, we gave the definition of a narcissist, and we recommend that you go on our my profile and look on last week. And look on last week to get the whole idea of what's taking place. We talked about the timeline of narcissists, when those behaviors may or traits may have came into
Mhm.
existence, and it started as childhood, but that's included maybe abuse and trauma, excessive
Mhm.
praise from the parents or any other caregiver or relatives, the lack of an authentical validation environment. Ooh, that's deep right
Mhm.
there.
Yes.
Parental overindulgence parenting, and however it came in as a child, it was not massaged out. Last time I talked about Freud, and it was talking about how the child has to learn how to share their love. They receive love, but they should
Mhm.
be able to give it back. And that's one of the key things or traits about a narcissist is that they don't know how to share love. And
Mm, they don't know how to give love.
they know how to share at all. Do not know
Yes.
how to give.
Mhm.
All of the above. And then we talked about, we kind of tapped in the other relationships, what's can take place
Mhm.
in our sister relationship. And that's where we're at now. We're going to go deeper into it.
Mhm.
And then Pam, I'm going to ask you, and I got some more information because someone asked in their comments, they said they want to know more about a female that's a narcissist. And I did pull up
Yes.
some things. So let's kind of touch on that too. But what I want to
Mhm.
talk about before we get started is the type of narcissism, and keep in mind is that displaying one of these types of narcissistic behaviors or traits does not necessarily mean that a person has a narcissistic personality. That's NPD, but they do have some of the traits. I like what you said, Pamela. Some like they may not have the personality, but some of the traits have been trickled down into, into their demeanor, into their
Yes.
that into their actions. Okay, and
Mhm.
important, but there are the overt, and somebody type in the box. I need somebody to type in the box. There's an overt narcissist, and they have
Mhm.
grandiose attention seeking, and they're preoccupied, excuse me, with fantasy
Mhm.
of unlimited success, power, brilliant beauty, or the ideal love. They're just so occupied of being brilliant, the one.
Mhm.
And these narcissists feel that innately entitled and superior, okay?
Mhm.
And resulting in manipulative behavior to achieve recognition and control. Okay, so somebody might know somebody like that in their life. Then there's the covert. Somebody type that in. Covert. Narcissist is someone who craves admiration and importance. They sound similar, but they're a little bit different, and they lack empathy. Now, see, there's another thing, another key thing we're going to pull out towards others, but may act in a different way than an overt narcissist. They may exhibit symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, but
Mhm.
often hide the more obvious signs of the condition. While it can be more difficult to recognize, covert narcissists can be just as destructive as more overt narcissist behaviors. Now, the antagonistic narcissist, okay, that's A N. There's a lot of ANTAGONISTIC. Narcissist is someone who not only display the unusual sign of narcissism, entitlement, grandiosity, self-absorption, and lack of empathy, but also has an extreme, hostile, and unforgiving nature. They have a
Mhm.
unforgiving. It's hard for them. And someone was telling me about a situation they went through being in a relationship with a narcissist, and
Mhm.
they said, I cannot get over because of this one word that you said. And they're not willing to forgive it. And they keep going right back to that one word. Isn't that
They're
something?
stuck.
Uh huh.
They're stuck. Mhm.
Stuck right there. And
Mhm.
they are quick to anger and quick to take offense. And somebody who's quick to anger will cause harm. Okay. So
Mhm. Mhm.
then
Mhm.
we have the there we have the malignant narcissist. Is
Mhm.
a narcissistic personality disorder that is highly abusive. Okay, people with this
Mm.
are supposed to get a sense of, they get a watch this, they get a sense of satisfaction, Pamela, and authentic talk family, of hurting others.
Oh yeah.
They get pleasure,
Mhm.
Pamela.
Mhm. That's the worst type of narcissist.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
They get pleasure out of that,
Mhm.
and may manipulate people to or lie to gain money, acclaim, and other things they desire. But that hit me right. They take they have a, they get a gratification,
Mhm.
hurting other people. And then there's a communal narcissist, feel entitled to special treatment,
Mhm.
always expect to cater for their needs, and they believe that they are owed something and that the world owes them. This is a sense of entitlement. They all may
Mm.
sound similar, but they have different highlights, different
Yes.
that make them stand out easier than others. But follow me carefully. Just these different types of narcissism does not necessarily mean that a person has a narcissistic personality disorder. That means they just have some of these, what you said, those little trinkles, a little
Traits. Uh-huh.
of the traits. And I thought
Yeah.
I thought that was real.
Yeah, I want to go back, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
Cheryl, to the antagonistus. I hope I'm saying that right.
Sure.
Uh, this person is very insecure,
Mm,
very competitive. If they realize that you are competitive as well, or you have one up on them, or you are better than them, I'm not saying that you are looking down on them, not that kind of better, but if you have more skills than they have, then you'll become their target. And you see this a lot in the workplace. A lot of people say, oh, this person is, acting a certain way towards me, and this person act like that. Well, that's the little traits, that's coming out, because when they feel threatened by you, then they'll do whatever they can to make you look like you're incompetent,
mhm,
that you don't know what you're doing, that you don't
mhm,
know what you're talking about, that you're a problem. You
mhm,
see this all the time in the workplace. And then they'll have I'll say, they little cheerleaders behind them, I guess, what is it, co-signing,
mhm,
that is something is wrong with this other person, when in fact it's not. It's just that they don't want to become the target, so they'll go ahead and go along, with the person as well. So that's when I looked it up, I thought, oh wow, yeah, you see this all the time
You
in workplaces, in very other places too, but you do definitely see it in the workplace.
and Authentic Talk family and Pam, people have to keep in mind that the
Mhm.
script writer and some
Yes,
writers stay up all night plotting with,
all night.
and
Mm-hmm.
in a relationship with someone or broke up with, especially if you broke up with someone and you haven't heard from them, they are pondering on what take place and they're rewriting the script
Mm-hmm.
so that they can either get you back or
Mm-hmm.
get you back into the relationship or to retaliate.
Yes.
So you have to be careful. See, that's why we tell you
Yes, don't go against the script. That's
don't
right, because
don't
they
go.
will they
Oh,
will get you. It
um,
remind me of like people that I used to work with, inmates.
mm,
We used to have to go up to their door
mhm,
if they didn't come out for their appointment, and they will be so mad if you didn't fall for their shenanigans.
mhm,
And so that's what they'll do. They'll play those little games, Cheryl,
mhm,
because they feel in their mind they done stayed up all night
mm,
trying to think about how they're gonna catch you up, or say something, and you're gonna fall for it. I mean, they will stay up and just role play it over and over in their mind. It's so
mhm,
sad.
mhm, mhm. Yes, and
Yes.
don't. And then and someone had told me, and I know probably a little ahead of the time, but they saying that when you in a narcissistic relationship, if you hold their hand, you hold their hand or be an affection to them, they said, well, you did that 2 or 3 times. So what they're saying,
It's not, I know it's not funny, but
yes,
just the
it is.
craziness,
the
just the
thought, the
craziness, the
thought, the
thoughts.
that means that you went against the script. That's not in the script. What they're telling, that's not in the script. And it was you only supposed to hold my hand one time or kiss me one time. You went over and above. And that's too
Mhm.
much for a person who is sane. You understand what I'm saying? When a person is
Wow.
sane and you're in a relationship with that person
Mhm.
will try to drive you crazy. What they're trying to do is weaken your mind
Break
that
you down.
they will break you down so you will fall
Mhm.
into their reality. They'll lock you,
Uh-huh.
they'll confine you to their reality, and you'll do
Mhm.
whatever they tell you to do.
Uh-huh. You'll be a robot, and then you will never, I know I said that the last time, but I have to say it again.
Mhm,
You will never satisfy them. I don't care if they come home and it's a 10-course meal, and
mhm,
you dressed in the nicest gown or whatever it is. I'm just trying to keep it PG, but y'all get what I'm saying. And you have all this night planned out. They will come in and complain about something.
Mm-hmm.
because you'll never satisfy them. They don't know how to receive or show love, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
just don't.
Adam said it's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. It is. It's too much. And watch in what they do. Somebody type this in. What they're doing is trying to suffocate your soul. And remember, I said that last time when your soul is suffocated, because the Bible said you prosper and be in health as your soul prosper. When your soul is suffocating, when it's suppressed, then it
Mhm.
affects other areas in your life. It affects your health. It affects your ability to see in the future. It affects your ability to have a desire to fulfill the purpose that you were called to do on this earth. It affects every area of your life. It will suffocate your identity, that you lose who you are. You don't even know who you are anymore. You become
No.
and watch. And if you stay in the relationship too long, then you'll start taking on that person character.
Well, you can't you see the thing that's a threat to them, Cheryl. If you start to think on your own
Mm-hmm.
and come up with your ideas, you have some great ideas, but they'll make you think your ideas are not valid because they didn't come up with it first. Now
Mm-hmm.
now that you'll say, "Oh no, we need to pick up this spray because this spray is gonna paint the table black." You know, it's a spray with black. It says black on there, but they'll say, "Oh no, that's not the right type of spray." They'll go over and get another. I'm serious. They'll go get another spray that is black, but maybe that one might be a little shine. It's yours probably didn't have a shine. It might have had the little, what is it called? Matte or mate,
Man,
the little kind of dull black,
uh,
but it's not valid. So they'll have to go and get the shiny black spray to spray the table with because they just want to be right. But I want to go back because someone on Facebook, Sean, had posted the malignant with the angry face emoji. Yes, the malignant narcissist, and I want to go back on that. And you were talking about them, Cheryl. They are the worst type of narcissist, and these are the ones that remember you and I were talking, and I was saying for so many years the narcissist was showing up. The theme of it was domestic violence. The perpetrator in a domestic violence relationship was always a narcissist, but we wasn't tagging it, we wasn't labeling it as a narcissist because we were just framing it as domestic violence. But that is the true malignant narcissist, the one that's in those domestic violence relationship. Also, they are the ones that stalk you. If women, yes, everything becomes a competition. You're right, Sister Queen. Women, if you have women or men, if you have anyone that's stalking you, that's the malignant type of narcissist, as well as, and this is one huge thing, sure, that happens a lot, and I hear it a lot with women and men. When you get ready to leave them, the first thing that they'll throw in your face is they're gonna kill themselves. Oh, I'm suicidal. I'm gonna kill myself if you leave me. I'm gonna kill myself, and that is to get you to stay there. They aren't content with self, so there's nothing you can do to satisfy them.
yeah,
Yes.
satisfy their egos. No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No. So they would definitely throw up that they're suicidal. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people may be truly suicidal and we have to take that serious. But I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the things that they will say. So be cautious about that part and, just verify and making sure and getting that person some help if they do, say that they are suicidal. But don't let it trick you to stay in there because they would definitely use that they're going to kill themselves in order for you to stay there.
Yeah, and also someone said also going back, they said they also take your ideals and make it like theirs. Hey, First Lady Kim,
I Yeah.
then
Hmm.
also then they'll come with not just the suicide, but they'll come with the sob story that
Yes, sure.
I can't make it without you.
Yes.
And listen to this. They said, I'm in the survival mode. I'm going to say it again. They'll say,
Hmm.
I'm in the
Hmm.
survival mode. I just don't, how
Hmm.
can I do this? And they'll try to call
Hmm.
you to ask for help or
Hmm.
ask for your advice. And like we said before, if you're going to cut it with a narcissist, cut it all the way. Okay.
Hmm.
Can't be their counselor. You
Hmm.
can't be a friend. You can't be anything. You have to cut it because the script will continue, even though you're distant from them.
Hmm.
The script will still be there.
Yeah.
It'll keep evolving until you
Hmm.
completely cut it off, and
Yeah.
that's the key thing.
Mhm.
about that. That is so the malignant. They're the most dangerous ones. They
Dangerous.
are really are.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
Pamela, let's get on to let's kind of backtrack from last week, and I did pull up some more things. A fe-
Okay.
a female narcissistic trait, and you know, I had a couple people in my mind when I was.
You will. You
Yeah,
will.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, you said this. Okay, now now this does not mean that a person has a narcissistic personality disorder, but they have some of the traits. Okay,
Yes.
but
Watch who you sleep with.
yeah,
Yes.
do uh-huh. But okay, number so here it is. It says being self-centered or self-absorbed. Okay,
Mhm.
and a female narcissist spend a lot of time talk about herself and her life without thinking and asking how others are doing, and so that's and never admitting their faults. They don't admit they have any. They're perfect. They are perfect.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Glamorous too.
Okay. Oh, girl. Admitting their fault or apologize instead, finding ways to project blame outwards onto other people or situations.
Mhm.
Three, pettiness. I think you said about that inability to see the bigger picture. The inability they only zero in on that one thing that they don't let that
Mhm.
go. I heard someone said on a male aspect is that they don't look at the big picture of the relationship, that just zone in that how can I reduce the money that I don't have to take care of these other kids. That's all they're thinking about. They don't think about the relation. So they only stuck on one thing and can't see the whole big picture. The reason why they
Mm.
can't see the big picture because they are stuck in their own reality.
It's
Our
their own bubble.
their reality is right, and everybody' reality is off course and is wrong.
Is wrong. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Then here's obsession with social status. Being shallow
Yes.
supervision is a common trait in both male and female. But here's the one right here. Here's the big one right here. Addicted to social media. Girl,
Yeah.
okay, but watch. All narcissists are self-absorbed, but this can be exhibited differently in female narcissists than male, okay? And wrapped up in the social media, post selfies, become obsessed with getting likes and followers online. Some may be addicted to social media and unable to pull themselves away from virtual reality that are created online. And that's true. And they have that that arrogant. I've seen it. I said, "Oh my good." They always want to
Mhm.
take selfies. They have that arrogant. See, this is what I was saying last time, especially for the men. If you get a woman that's doing a selfie all the time and they have and just want to show off how she look or all this or whatever the case, and she is doing that publicly, and you're in a relationship with her, whatever. When you get out of that relationship, the same way she's gonna destroy you with social media. See, people don't be looking at that.
Mhm.
And if she's a nurse, she would try to destroy you through social media. So if you guys are taking a picture together and she's all glamorous and all doing this or
Mhm.
whatever, when you break up, then you better be careful because social media will become his or her weapon. Am I about right, Pamela?
Oh, everything is a weapon. I was thinking just sitting here listening to you, like when you are dealing with a female narcissist, not only does social media become their weapon, Cheryl, they will flirt all throughout that social media. They
Mm-hmm.
will flirt in person. They don't care if they have a husband or not.
Mm-hmm.
If another man that they think is the next best thing is gonna come along, they gonna go with it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not concerned about how you're gonna feel, if it's gonna impact you, or if they walk away from you, is that gonna keep you, is that gonna break you? They're not caring about that, because a woman narcissist is looking for a come up. They always looking for a come up. Always, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm. And someone, Pamela, said that they were with the narcissist for 20 years, but didn't realize it until they left.
Yeah.
That's possible. It
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
Because you are out of the candy store and you're looking from the outside in, and you can see things. Pamela, they said the next one says seemingly insecure, shy, or reserved. Going real quick. Sensitive and reactive. Are they're more emotional than their male counterpart, which also makes them more likely to be sensitive and reactive. So they're very sensitive. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
it, they like to play the
Drama queen.
drama queen. They like to play the
Mhm.
victim card.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
most definitely.
passive aggressive and manipulative,
Mhm.
and they like bully or being a mean girl. Just
Yes.
because narcissists aren't as physically aggressive does not necessarily mean that they are nicer or less dangerous. Female narcissists may use different type of aggression like gossiping, spreading rumors, gaslighting, name calling, or giving people the cold shoulder. Isn't that they call it narcissistic abuse that can be just as harmful as more overt form of aggression, typically in a male narcissist.
Mm. Yeah. I tell you, a woman is looking for a come up, and the man, once you're not doing what he want you to do, I mean, if you're not doing, yeah, if you're not doing what he want you to do, he gonna get rid of you, and
Mm-hmm.
he's not gonna care. And while we talking about that, Cheryl, I
Mm-hmm.
know that we had also talked about the different stages of narcissistic abuse. Do you want to go ahead and jump
Let
on into that? Let's
I
go on
got
in there.
let's go on for these cycles.
Yeah. So, oh, go ahead, Cheryl. I'm sorry.
Just want to say before we start into those cycles,
Yes.
because they're evolving, this is part of their script writing. These cycles, right?
Hmm.
Part of their script writing. If you get that, you said, well, how do I avoid a narcissist? We said it last time. Well, the word of God said, be anxious for nothing. And
Hmm.
if this person is trying to treat you like a queen which you are, but they're trying to do
Hmm.
all these extravagant things, and you just really got a chance really to know a person or whatever. They want to
Hmm.
fly you here, do this and do that. They're
Hmm.
they're rushing. they're ru- all right. That's it. All right.
No, we gonna go there.
Uh-huh.
We gonna go there.
Right, Pam. They're rushing you through the
When I
process.
tell you,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
no,
Go.
go ahead. No, you're
They're
right.
if they're rushing you, if you're in a relationship, you're dating and they're rushing you. If you're in the inner court, go back and look at our old podcast, and they're rushing you. Something is wrong. The Bible says, "Be anxious for nothing," and they're
Hmm.
consuming you with all these things and so forth, and they didn't get a chance to know you, and they're not really concerned about your feelings. They just want to do. Something is wrong, and you have, ladies and gentlemen, you have to discern. Don't be concerned about the physical, all the how they look, how they and so forth, because see that stuff is nice, but it's not relevant. Somebody said, yes, it
Hmm.
is. All right, but you get with the narcissist and they drive you up the wall, then you're gonna say, well, I could have just settled for her and been more happy, plus fulfill my purpose. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Girl, you cocked your head this way and that way. Say what you got to say.
So I'm gonna go back because I was listening to a podcast today, and this lady said when you have discernment, it helps you to decide better, and that it helps you to make better decisions. And she was so right that discernment be key. But let's go on ahead and break down the stages and the cycle of a
Go ahead.
narcissist. So I'm gonna put it in as plain as I can and kind of walk through the steps of what I'm aware of. So one thing about when you're going through the stages, and I'm going to go back to you, Pamela, when you said that you were with your husband for 20 years. I'm not sure. Yeah, your husband for 20 years. Back then, the narcissist wasn't really tossed around. Like I said, it was more so framed as domestic violence, and they coupled that with hitting and pushing and all that stuff. But a narcissist, they're not hitting you. They might be emotionally abusing you, but way back then that was really hard to prove, emotional abuse, unless it started to tear down your mental health. Then they were able to prove it, but it wasn't like enough to get an arrest. But anyways, back to what I'm saying. With a narcissism, when you're going through those stages, you start going through what they call that idealization stage, and I call it the love bombing stage. That's when you first meet them, and you are going to be they're everything. Women, if you with a man, he's gonna tell you you're beautiful. He's never been with a woman like you before. You're so smart. You're intelligent. He want to give you the world. He will promise you all type of things. Same thing, men. Women will promise you to be the best woman you've ever had. In fact, they'll go above and beyond to be everything that you've never had in a woman. They'll give you everything that you say that you didn't get in the last relationship. That's that love bombing stage. Then you'll go to then you'll get to experience the devaluation stage. And so what happens is, after they love bomb you, now they're not gonna love bomb you for a long time, so you got to pay attention. They might love bomb you for that first, I give it about 63 days, Cheryl, not too long, about 63 days. And after that, then that's when they start coming to let you know the things that they feel like you're not doing. That's when they start to, bit little by little, breaking you and breaking your mind, breaking your soul. I'm gonna use your word, Cheryl, breaking your soul down, because if they break you, then you're gonna form into that person that they want you to form into, and then you'll start doing what they want. And men, you'll start isolating yourself from your friends, from your family. And women, same for you. You'll isolate yourself away from everybody, and you'll become uh everything that they want you to become. And then from that devaluation stage, they will start to get to where, if they feel like you're how should I say, if you catching on to the games, because in that devaluation stage, they'll try to make you think that your ideals are not your ideals. They'll try to make you think you're crazy, that what you're seeing is not the truth, especially if you catch them cheating. They'll be like, I'm not, no, me and her are just friends, and no, you didn't see that, and no, it's nothing wrong if I gave her a fire emoji. That just mean that her outfit was cute. Everybody else was giving the fire emojis. They'll make you think that you are tripping about questioning them about the type of flirtations that they're doing. And so when you start catching on to that and you start speaking up for yourself, immediately they're going to start looking for another woman or another man to replace you. And they're not going to give you no sign and let you know you're going to get replaced. And when they get ready to replace you, they're going to just end the relationship quickly. They're not going to give you no warning. They don't care if you done bought a house together. They're going to want you to get out, or they're going to end that relationship, and they're going to immediately go and be with that person, because they always are going to have somebody waiting for them, waiting to replace you, always.
Always.
And that's the sad part. Yeah, always.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, Cheryl, you put down a repetition stage. That happens, after, let's say, for instance, if you go through these stages and they suck you back in, they call it the hoovering stage. They suck you back in and start back up that honeymoon stage all over again. That is the repetition stage as well, is that if you stay and you don't get out of the relationship, all what's going to happen is those same cycles going to start up again, and you're just going to stay in that hamster wheel until you get tired and really leave the relationship.
Mhm. And,
Yeah.
trying to go back a little bit to that love bombing stage, the first stage,
Mm-hmm.
what I thought what was very interesting is that they'll try to put shame and guilt on you for spending more time with friends outside of the relationship you have developing with them. And so
Mm-hmm.
therefore breaking bound you previously commit. So you be breaking boundaries with other people, closing
Oh yeah.
relationships, getting really
Mm-hmm.
rid of friends, not talking to families, and they want to isolate you from everyone
Yes.
so that they can control you. So they don't want you to have any outside influence, any words of wisdom coming
None.
in. What I also know is, and if you're getting words of wisdom and you go back and tell them, then they'll put that little sad story or whatever the
Mhm.
case, to make sure that
Yes.
make it like they're telling the truth, even though they're lying, and they'll convince you that they're telling the truth and everybody else is lying. And so
Yes.
that's a very sad case. And then that devaluation stage, what I like what you're saying, Pamela, but also they have
Mm-hmm.
is how all that criticism can be settled.
Mm-hmm.
Subtle
Oh
crit
yeah.
they work real slow. They don't rush in what they're gonna do, 'cause
Mm-mm.
when you play in the mind game, you don't rush on it. You do a little bit at a time to wear that person down, that they will succumb to whatever you want them to do. A
Mm-hmm.
they na did you mention about their name calling? They'll call you.
Oh yeah, yes, that's that. See, in the beginning, Cheryl, that's when they do that little subtle stuff. They
Mm,
don't want you to really catch on
mhm,
that they because they're trying to they try to smother
Mhm.
that behavior
Mm.
with trying to show up as a charmer and nice and loving and kind, and they always say, "Oh, I'm always happy, and I just love to live, and I'm free, and I like to do all these things." And really, they so broken inside,
Mhm.
but they try to smother it with
Mhm.
all covering it up.
Mm.
I call it the
Mhm.
counterfeit.
Mhm. It is, and
That's the counterfeit person.
and then when they feel that you have it together, they're gonna try to
They jealous of you.
they're jealous of you and they try to suppress you and make you
Mhm,
question yourself, and you get to the
mhm,
point that you're in the relationship that this is a no-win relate it's no win.
mhm.
Whatever you do, you don't win. If you do this, this is wrong. And it's just feel like you're in a constant maze and you don't know how to get out.
There you go.
Mm.
There you go. Until you find a light switch on the wall and you click it on and you say, "Oh, okay, I need to go right. Let me go on out of here and get on away from this."
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
But Pamela, but I just have a question, and we're gonna really, I think this is really enough. But I have this question.
never good enough. You're
Never,
right.
never good enough. That you came in with some confidence, and you come out not even knowing
Mhm.
the word
You
because
have to rebuild
you
yourself.
real big, and we're going to talk about that. The like I said, because if it's a narcissist, it's going to be a transformation, and everybody understand what I mean by that. A transformation is from the inside out. A narcissist
Mhm,
have to have a transformation. The person within the
mhm,
relationship, they have to go healing based upon all that really abuse that they receive, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and for some physical abuse. And you have to have healing, and then also you have to be detached from their
mhm,
world. You have to detach from that script. That's why I tell people when you get out of relation, cut it completely. Don't be and
mhm,
don't be around them whatsoever. You say, "Well, I have children," or whatever the case. Then you're gonna have to
mhm,
work out something,
mhm,
especially if you're not strong enough. Maybe have to go through the drop, meet at the police department. Maybe that you're gonna have to have someone there to help supervise while you're there, because until you're strong enough um, um,
mhm.
it's easy to fall back in that role because keep in mind,
Yes.
they've been thinking about rewriting that script because they want you back because you satisfied their
Mhm,
you help undergird their reality, and
mhm.
that's why they don't want to let you go.
No, they always want to stay attached in
Mhm.
some kind of way, even if you guys break up and you go your way and they go their way, they are going to try their best to get back into your life. And it's not that because they want to marry you, or
Mm,
it's not that they want to be faithful, it's because they want to continue to use you.
and you're the only person that's fulfilling the role of that script right now. They
Mhm,
haven't found another one to fulfill that script.
mm, mm.
And so that oh God, that's some heavy things. I think
It's hurtful,
it's
but it's just the truth.
the truth. It
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
and and gentlemen, you have to be really careful and discern.
mhm,
That's what that whole dating process is, asking a lot of questions.
mhm,
And then when they answer the question, see if it is being followed through their actions. Are their actions answering the question correctly? Based upon what they said. And so, I know we dropped a lot of information today, and got kinda quiet quiet because people kinda process.
That is a lot to process, but you're right, Cheryl. They have to discern in these relationships, and I strongly believe when you start dating, and
Mhm,
I can't say this enough, and I wish I would have known this in my late teens and early 20s. Pull out those fruits of the spirit, and if they don't show up
mhm,
with those fruits of the spirit, I'm not saying they got to have all of those fruits of the spirit. It's in the Bible. You can Google it also. But if they don't show up with some of those fruits of the spirit, you better run.
mhm. Better run, better hide.
Yeah.
Better
Those
really
fruits,
mhm.
yeah, they
Well,
help.
that's what we have for you today, Authentic Talk family. We hope that
Mhm.
it was helpful for you, and even the process of us being in therapists and knowing about this, it has helped us. And I think it's
Mhm.
this is just like when you talk about somebody said real talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
as even when you talk about depression, you can
Mhm.
go on because it's deep. Well, narcissist is so deep. There's so many layers.
It's just a lot of layers.
It's a lot of layers, and we're just trying to give you what the information uh,
Mhm.
you can kind of digest and so forth. Then we'll be
Yes.
back with you, not next week, but the following week, and we'll talk about the healing process and the transformation process. And if you have, and I keep telling you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, if it's not
Mhm.
pertaining to this or any questions that you have, we will not say your name.
Oh.
DM me at Cheryl at
Mhm.
underscore at opulenceinc.com, and we will answer your questions on live. We'll answer. You can have some information because there might be some questions that you may have, and then if we don't know the answer, we sure know who does know the answer. So Pamela, let's go ahead. Tell them about the counseling services that are available, and then we'll be finished.
Yeah. So I want to say this because it's just pressing on my heart, and I'm sure that it's probably meant to say, if any of you are in a relationship right now and you're saying, wow, this person I'm with, this sounds like him or her, or if you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, please don't feel ashamed about the situation that you're currently in or that you've experienced. We all have kissed a couple of frogs, or a couple of
To-
like toes, or even for men, I understand, that if you kissed a couple of women that wasn't the prince or the queen, I should say, that you wanted, don't feel bad about that. This is for you to learn. It's for you to learn from it, so that way when you get back out there and you start dating again and looking for a wife or a husband, you will remember those signs so you don't keep repeating those same things. So don't beat yourself up about it. Just learn from what you've experienced and move forward in your life and get some therapy, if you need it. And if you do, need therapy and you have private insurance, you can always contact your member services and they will give you a listing of some therapists. You can go on some platforms. They have several platforms. I am very familiar with Psychology Today, and therapy for Black girls. I can't seem like I can't get my words out today. Therapy for Black girls. I'm very familiar with those platforms. If you are in California or if you're in the state of Georgia, I am accepting clients. So I do have a couple of spots available. You can contact me on my Instagram at Pamela Shakir LCSW, or you can contact me on my website, Pamela Shakir, SHAKIRLCSW.com, and send me an inquiry and I'll respond back to you if you are in need of some therapy.
And also, I want to add on, Authentic Talk family. Keep in mind, first of all, share this information.
Mhm.
Share it with about 3 or 4 or 5 people, and like Pamela says, no sense of getting a guilt trip because
Mhm.
like my brother always says, sometimes we get off the wrong exit in our life. He said, get back on the
Mhm.
freeway and keep on going until you
Keep
reach the
going.
right exit.
Mhm.
And this podcast is designed to show you how to master life rather than life master
Mhm.
you. So
That's right.
that's the whole key thing. Don't get down and out about it. You just that was the wrong person, and
Was.
just go on with your life and know that the better person is about to come into your life. Well, beautiful Authentic
Yes.
Talk family, it was an honor to be in your presence today and to provide you with this information. And we'll keep you posted. Facebook family, we appreciate you. YouTube family, appreciate you. And we will see you. We'll give you a promo when the next time we'll be here. Bye bye.